Talks, airing on this station every Monday at 4:30 p.m. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
If you've made a decision to aim for a long-term and successful finance career, taking the Chartered Financial Analyst CFA exam and studying the curriculum is an excellent way to ensure you have a strong knowledge base and top-notch skills. Are you ready to take the bold step to invest in yourself? CFA Society Nigeria is at your disposal, promoting the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria. As an affiliate of CFA Institute, CFA Society Nigeria seeks to promote the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria and to provide a vibrant community in which its members and other key players in the investment industry can interact and grow. When you have the CFA Charter, you're globally recognized. Take advantage today by writing the CFA exam and joining us at CFA Society Nigeria. For more information, visit us at cfasocietynG.org. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money Talks.
Money.
We are professionals. We are impact-driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holders' commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietynG.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money. Hello everyone and welcome to Money Talks. It's brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Money Talks is a financial literacy program that comes to you every Monday from 4:30 to 5 p.m. here on 92.3 Inspiration FM, and it's brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. Today, my guest on the program is Wale Okunrinboye, CFA. Wale, the Chief Investment Officer of Access Pensions, is a seasoned investment professional with over a decade worth of experience across macroeconomics, fixed income, and equities. He began his career as a sell-side research analyst at ARM Investment Managers, where he provided research coverage across several sectors. He later joined Ecobank as a fixed income and currency specialist, where he was responsible for tracking development in the fixed income and currency markets across 33 countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Since joining Sigma Pensions in 2018, Wale worked as a portfolio manager and lead investment strategist and led the restructuring effort of the Sigma Pension investment portfolios, which resulted in an uplift in performance from bottom quartile rankings to top quartile positions. Wale is a first-class graduate of economics from Covenant University and obtained a master's degree in economics from the University College London and is a CFA charter holder. He also holds a certificate in ESG investing from the CFA Institute. Let's make welcome Wale to the studio this evening. Wale, good evening to you and thank you so much for joining us.
Good evening, sir. Pleased to be here, and it's always a pleasure being in a very popular program such as Talks.
Captain Smart is my name. I should have introduced myself. So I'll be discussing with Wale this evening, and of course with you, the audience, planning for life after retirement. That's what we're talking about on the program this evening. Planning for life after retirement. You might want to join us on the program. 0700 923 923 923. That's the number to call. 0700 923 923 923. You can also call 0817 313 6193. That's 0817 313 6193 when we open the phone lines in just a moment. I'm also live on Instagram at Captain Smart 007. That's my Instagram handle at Captain Smart 007. I'm live on Instagram. You can join the live stream there and leave us messages, whatever you want to know about life after retirement, how you can plan for that. Wale is the plug this evening on the program. So, Wale, let's get started really this evening. Whenever people talk about life after retirement, there's this jittery feelings. It just sends down your spine. So, I mean, you begin to think, oh boy, I don't grow old, or I mean, this life, but we're all growing older. We'll all grow old. And as we grow older by the day, we draw nearer to that our retirement date. That's life after work. We can't work forever. We'll come at a time when there won't be work anymore. So can you start by telling us, when does one start planning for this period of life in one's lifetime, which is actually inevitable? When should the plan start?
It's never too early to start planning for retirement, and the reason is because so it's never too early to start planning. And one thing, because where I work currently, we manage over 1 million retirement clients, and we always tell them the best time to start planning for your retirement is yesterday. The next best time is today.
Wow.
And the reason is because the way the human or the life cycle works is that we all start off maybe between the ages of when we're born and when we're around 20. We're pretty much relying on the savings of someone else, which is our parents. And then you have a working phase, which is between 20 for some people and for most people 60. That's when you're active, and that's the period where you start to earn incomes. So during that period, that's the only time, because once you get past 60, your ability to get a job or work becomes limited, because as you're older, there's very little you can do at that age. So your income earning capacity is lower at that age. So the only time you really have is that period between age 20 and 60, which is about 40 years thereabouts for most people. So you just have maybe between 30 to 40, depending on when you start working, to start earning income. And the idea really is you earn income, you put a portion of that away into some securities, and those securities, so that once you are old, you begin to draw down on those securities to live retirement. What we've all realized is that the way the world is these days, you could say 10-20 years ago, or whether back in the days, people had their retirement plans as their children. But what you find is that families are getting smaller. Most people are now saying, look, I'm not looking after anybody. Everybody has to look after themselves pretty much. So what you find is that if you want to live a stress-free retirement without being a burden to someone else, you have to plan for your retirement. Otherwise, you don't want to wake up at the age of 60 and you're trying to call one of your children to send you money or somebody to that. It's always a bit of a plan. So what we always say is you start planning as early as possible, putting away some of your current incomes into long-term assets such that they preserve value, and then when you're retired, you can then draw down on those assets. And that's why if you look at it, the Nigerian government also in terms, before 2004, we didn't have a pension system. But since 2004, we created the Pension Reform Act, which created 22 pension fund administrators. They are now about 19, whereby individuals can go open up retirement savings accounts, whether you are employed. If you are employed, typically your employer will take a portion of your monthly pay and pass it to one of these administrators that you appoint as your pension fund manager. Now, even if you're unemployed in the informal sector of the economy, there's also a micro pension plan you can also put aside to do that.
Okay, so now that you've talked about retirement savings account, I presume that's where you can save your pensions.
Yeah.
So how does one go about opening this retirement savings account and also operate them?
So usually, if you're in the formal sector of the economy, you have a job, your employer typically would open a pension account for you at your choice, of course. You can pick out of, there are about 19 pension fund administrators today in Nigeria. You can pick any one of those pension fund administrators as your choice. Typically, once you indicate that choice to your employer, they will register you, get your KYC details, your name, your PV, basically just basic information about you, and open an account for you. So once that account is open, every month, a portion of your salary, your employer deducts it and transfers it to this pension fund manager. And then you can also monitor. Typically, these pension fund managers will provide you access to your account balances on a monthly basis. They provide statements for you on a quarterly basis, thereabouts. Now, if you're not in the formal sector, you're in the informal sector, where most people, you will say, what you do there is you would individually need to go and find out one of these 19 pension fund administrators and open an account with them, and you basically enjoy the same benefits. In other words, you would have to take a portion of your monthly income, or as the case may be, and set it aside into this account. Now, one of the benefits of having a pension account is that your savings are tax free. It is a tax deduction, so you get benefits of your pension savings are done before your tax deductions are made, so you get that benefit. And the reason is because the Nigerian government has told of it that you don't want to create a society where a lot of people get to age 60 and they don't have anything to fall back on, and so that's why they put in place the pension fund system. And the pension fund system today is around 16 trillion naira worth.
Wow.
So it's grown from very small beginnings, and what you find is that it's also become active. You have a lot of people that are retired and are also receiving monthly pensions and monthly salaries from there. It's a big departure from what you used to have previously. Yeah.
So the drift I'm getting here is you have to be earning an income. You have to have a job to be working, so your employer can open this account for you.
Yeah.
So this is just for people who are working and earning income.
So if you also don't have a job, if you have a business, if you're in the informal sector of the economy, you can also open an account on your own. So it's called the micro pensions.
Okay, so you don't actually need to be an employee to do this. You can do it on your own. How does an individual do that?
So if you're an individual, again, there are 19 pension fund administrators. You'd opt for the micro pension plan. So the micro pension plan is for those who are organizations that are less than 3 individuals and are basically irregular. So like in the informal sector of the economy, you're not a structured, let's say you run a business, a mama put, or a musician, or in the creative sector of the economy, you can have a micro pension plan for yourself.
Absolutely. In case you're joining us now, you're listening to Money Talks. Money Talks is a financial literacy program and is brought to you by CFA Society Nigeria. And today we're talking about planning for life after retirement. Everybody will retire someday. Wale has said here that those years after 60, you might just need to have something to fall back on. And my guest this evening, Wale Okunrinboye, CFA. He is a Chief Investment Officer of Access Pensions. He's a seasoned investment professional, and he's talking to us about life, how you can plan for your life after retirement. If you want to be part of the conversation here, you can call us on the telephone 0700 923 923 923. That's 0700 923 923 923. You can also call 0817 313 6193. You have questions to ask about retirement savings account, or how you can open one if you don't have already. If you need an advice on how to plan for your retirement, this is your turn to join us on the program. You can also send us a WhatsApp message 0817 313 6193. Send us a message on WhatsApp to that particular number. Our phone lines are officially open right now. So Wale, can you just help us highlight other ways and indeed other tools as well to which one can use to plan for one's retirement, or is this just a retirement savings account?
So your retirement savings account, the way it's designed is that you only get a portion of your monthly income put into it. So that portion is typically your employer puts around 10% of your monthly income, and you put around 8%. So as an individual, you still have a lot of money that you can put inside if you opt to. So we have what we call a voluntary contribution, whereby you can say, okay, rather than this 8% I'm putting aside, I want to put more than that to save for retirement. That would also go into your retirement savings account. But beyond that, what we always try to discuss with people, with our clients, is that we always try and let them know that, look, beyond you need to think about your retirement not just as in terms of, okay, I have this pot of money. What plans do you have in terms of retirement? So some people may say, okay, you know what, I have 2 kids. I want my kids, once they're done with university education, I want to school them all the way to a master's degree in a foreign country. So that may mean that you need to set aside more money today for that, because your kids, maybe they are still in secondary school today or primary school today, you need to start planning consciously towards that, because you're earning in naira, you have that currency mismatch, and also time as well, time value of money, inflation, and all of that. So sometimes you may need to, if you speak to seasoned financial experts, we can work out what that sum would be and how much you need to put aside today on a monthly basis so as to offset that liability that you're going to meet in the future. Also, other things like, most people, for example, are living in a rented apartment today. When they want to retire, you don't want to retire and be paying rent because you're not earning incomes, right? So you may also say, okay, you know what, I want to put aside some money today to buy a house. And so you could again, you speak to seasoned financial experts, and we can one of the things we do for our customers' retirement advisory is also how they can set aside, advise them on how they can plan their incomes in a manner that they will be able to save towards owning a home. Incidentally, one of the products that just come on the pension fund industry recently is that you could use 25% of your pension balance to apply for a mortgage from a bank to get your own home. So in other words, most people who want to buy a home or plan towards a home purchase, you could get a mortgage from a bank. Now the bank you can use 25% of what you have you saved into your pension account as equity contribution for those mortgage facilities. And it's something that started last year, and we've seen a lot of people have actually tapped into that. So in that plan towards getting your own home. I think beyond that as well, some people could also have plans to leave something behind for their kids. So in other words, you want to leave a gift or some grant for your kids so that they can use to keep themselves by while you're old. So again, you can also plan towards that as well. There are things that there are financial products that you can think of as well, that you can set aside incomes today. Because the problem always is that for most people, I think there's a quote somewhere that be like the ants, that in the winter, or rather in summer, he puts aside his food, and in the winter. So the active period of our lives are the period where we are working and earning a lot of money today. When we're retired, we don't earn incomes at those levels. So the idea really is always to try and put away some of what you're earning today towards that future. And the only way you can do that is putting it into dedicated financial products. Of course, after you consult your personal financial advisor, and they can provide you guidance on how to go about it. So beyond just your RSA account, we advise a lot of things you can plan towards. You just need to work out what are your goals, what do you have, what are your objectives. If it's to pay for a master's degree for your kids, if it's to buy a house. In fact, some people also say you should plan for healthcare, because when you get older, something that happens that typically as people get older, they also get their healthcare expenses also rise just by age. So you can start putting aside some money to buy healthcare plans today, so that when you're older, you rely on those healthcare plans to go to the hospital. So it's not as if you're falling from emergency to emergency. You actually have a healthcare plan that's put in place for that. So it's about being deliberate about coming up with these plans and speaking to a financial advisor, and they'll provide you guidance on that.
Okay, our phone lines are open, 0700-923-923-923. You can call us with all the pensions and retirement plan questions. Wale is here, and he will do justice to them. 0700-923-923-923, or you can call 0817-313-6193. You can also send us a WhatsApp message to the number 0817-313-6193. Mr. Smart, please kindly help me ask, how long will this pension be paid after retirement for some of us in the private sector, and how much can we request if we were to need more funds for a project from our pension? So first of all is to ask, you didn't say your name here. Is it possible to request for more funds for a project than you have in your pension? And it's asking, how long will it take before that money is actually paid?
Yeah. Now, so by the Pension Reform Act, which was 2004, revised in 2014, typically most people can, once you retire, retirement is defined as usually anything from age 50. Once you're 50, but you make a conscious decision to retire. In other words, you're retiring. So once you retire at age 50, usually age 50 is sort of seen as indicative for some people. Some people is 55, some people is 60. Again, it depends on, but if in the private sector, from some people they opt to go out, once I'm 50, I'm retiring. But most people we tend to see 55, 60, depending on the organization you work for and the rules they have around retirement as well. But for most people, the minimum age you typically find most people say they're retiring is around age 50. So once you're age 50, now the way it works is that there are two ways via which you can access your benefits. One way is that you go for what we call a program withdrawal, in which case what happens is that you access a certain percentage, say be anywhere between 25 to 50% could be paid at retirement. Of let's say, I'm using an example, let's say you have 100 million.
Okay, sorry, Wale. Hello, good evening.
So when I saw the talk, yeah, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead quickly. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, this is James Obona from Moshud. When I saw the topic, I was because although it was saying planning for life after retirement. I was thinking that is it after I've retired that I'll now start planning for life or planning for life before I actually retire? So I don't know. Maybe why it's still the same thing, but I like the fact that he talked about you are a food seller or something, because somebody will have looked at it and said, okay, this topic is for those who are actually working, retirement, and this is so me. I'm not. He brought in the idea of the fact that some people were actually selling food, so it covers everybody actually.
Yes, it covers it covers everybody actually. We have to leave it there, my friend, so that other people can have an opportunity to call. Another message here says this topic is very important. Can someone invest the saved money with the pension agency to make more money? Good evening, Captain Smart, and I guess this is Patrick from Ikoto asking. Maybe I'll just have to latch the other question I wanted to ask you onto this one. Recently there was a viral video where people were saying that, look, this our savings, our retirement savings money. Instead of you investing this money for us, why can't you give us this money? If you give me this money, I can get better return for my investment. If I invested the money myself, instead of an institution investing this money on my behalf. Wale, you are the expert here. Are you on the same page with these people?
Well, so again, the long history is that most people on average typically don't know how to invest quite well their own money. So if you take, say, out of 100 people, maybe the percentage of people who can actually do very well in terms of investing, it's not often that high. The average person, unless you go through a very decent process of training yourself, equipping yourself with knowledge, you typically would not be able to invest quite well. And so that's why the pension fund system was created, such that since the average person won't be able to do that, just like the closest example I could say is a doctor, right? If you speak to most people say, I know how to treat myself, right? I know what's wrong with me, but someone has gone through training. That's why we say you go to that doctor. Same thing with financial investment as well, is that for most people on average, you're not able to make right decisions, because if you really think about it, there are a lot of complex things that come along with investment. Some people may not be able to do that. And so to do that, to sort of solve that problem as a whole, if on average most people are not able to make very good investment decisions, then you need to specialize. You need to find people that are specialists in that area, then give them that benefit. Now the important thing to also notice that of your incomes is only a portion, 8% of it, like I said, then your employer puts around 10% that goes into that. So in reality, you also have the remaining portion of your income available to yourself to also make investment decisions. But like I said, what you always tend to find is that on average, yes, you would have one or two people who are outliers who are able to make very good investment decisions on their own. What you tend to find for most people on average, they tend not to be very good investment professionals, and so they tend to lose money, get involved in things like Ponzi schemes and all of that. And when they lose money, then you then say, okay, you don't have money to fall back on. So that's why the way the pension system works is that it's heavily regulated. Pension funds are well capitalized. The capital base for pension funds was originally raised about 5 billion naira, such that they had to hire very good people who are highly experienced in investment, also invest in technology and in processes that would ensure that, number one, they manage risk very well. They're able to find the right assets to invest in, assets that will give the best kind of returns, or returns that on average an ordinary individual won't be able to generate on his own. I think that's the idea behind it.
So seek a professional all the time. Okay, so let's talk about annuities here. Can you describe them? What are annuities, and how can they be used for the term we're talking about today, retirement planning?
So annuities is an insurance product. It's a product created by insurance companies, and so the idea really is that you get paid you get paid an amount for life. So what typically happens is that when you retire, I mentioned one of the options is that you could meet your pension fund to give you program withdrawal. One option is to go and purchase an insurance product, a life annuity product from an insurance company. Now, the way it works is that let's say I have 10 million, or let's say I have 100 million naira retirement. I'm at age 50 and I'm retired and I have 100 million naira in my account. I could go and meet an insurance company to say, okay, I want to buy an annuity product. Now, what that would do is that the annuity product will pay you a set amount every month for life. So, although you also have some other insurance products that are term, so they could pay you for a certain period, but they could pay you a set sum based on how much you had at retirement for life. So, they work out, let's say they'll pay you 100,000 naira a month over the rest of your life. Well, you have to purchase that product from an insurance company. Now, what typically happens is that if there's a period where the sum is guaranteed, so for example, if you retire at age 60 and you die by age 70, then what typically happens is that a portion of what will happen is the rest of that promise will be paid to your beneficiaries. But if you die beyond 10 years, typically, what you find is that there's no net payment for your beneficiaries. So, because it's like an insurance product, the way I always say is, think about it is like when you insure your car, for example, it's typically insured for a year, right? If anything happens during that 1 year, what happens is that you go to insurance company, you get indemnified. But if after 1 year you don't renew it and something happens, you don't get indemnified. So that's the kind of idea behind an annuity product, is that on retirement you purchase that, you get a set it's like getting somebody paying you an income for life. But if you die within a set period, then your beneficiaries may not be able to access that benefit. Now, that's slightly different from the program withdrawal that people work out.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, if that's the case, because the Nigerian man will like say, I cannot lose all of that money. So if your client was sitting in front of you, which one will you advise them to go for? Annuities, from an insurance firm, or just let me just jejely, as we say in local parlance, periodically just withdraw from a PFA?
No, so before that, let me explain what the program withdrawal with pension funds works. So it's very similar to the annuity product, but the only difference is that with this, even if you die, the amount belongs to your beneficiaries, your main beneficiaries. So that's the only difference. The only difference is that, again, the pension fund product is also worked out as well to pay you an amount every month. So it's kind of similar to an annuity product. It pays you a set amount every month. But unlike insurance, which is that you're buying a product, this one is from your pension fund. Your pension fund is actually going to continue managing that fund for you for as long as you're alive. And if you die during the period, there's also a means by which they transfer it to your beneficiaries. Now, the insurance product is different because insurance, you're buying a product. And so because you're buying a product, just like the way car insurance works, if nothing happens within that term, the defined term period, and of course nothing happens. But if something happens, then you may or you may not qualify for a benefit. Now, what do I advise for my clients? Again, I'm a pension fund administrator, so I think what I would always say is speak to a financial advisor to get good clarity, because there needs to be other factors that may come into play. What you want to achieve. For some people who want to achieve maybe the ability to pass on some benefit to their beneficiaries, then maybe they may say, okay, I want to go for a program withdrawal. And then for some people as well, depending on how you perceive life to be, if you feel maybe, I'm not saying it happens, but you could die within 10 years, then it may be something that you say, okay, no, if I die within 10 years, then my beneficiaries get it. So sometimes there may be other things that you may also need to think of as well. Maybe some other goals that people have in mind. Some people may say, if you don't have any beneficiaries, for example, then maybe you may say, I don't have any kids, I don't have anybody I want to send any money to, then maybe I just go for the life insurance product and max out. Okay.
We're just out of time. There's only 30 seconds available. I will appreciate if you can answer this question in 30 seconds. Another message here says, what is the percentage of interest on the saved money, or is there no interest? And I'm sure the pension agency is either trading with my money or doing other business. Well, 30 seconds available.
Now, your pension money belongs to you. Your pension fund administrator only earns a fee. So any profits they make from investing your money belongs to you. So it doesn't belong to the pension manager. They only earn a fixed fee for providing that service to you.
All right. Wale is being our guest. Wale Okunrinboye, CFA, Chief Investment Officer of Access Pensions, a very seasoned investment professional. He's been talking to us here this evening, and we'll be talking about life, how you can plan your life after retirement. It's been the subject of discussion right here. Wale, thank you so much for coming this evening. We really do appreciate the education you have given to us.
Thank you, Captain Smart.
Although it comes with a pinch of fear when you talk about when you die. Thank you so much, Wale. That's our package for today. Join us again next Monday at 4:30 p.m. for a fresh package. Many thanks to CFA Society Nigeria, who have brought us this particular program. Smart Uzechi is my name. Stand by for Alpha Club coming up next.